Ripple Effect podcast, thanks to Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union. My name is Jessica Ausbrook, and we have a special guest on with us today from the Carver Community Center. JC Barnett is here. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello, it's a pleasure.
It's great to see you.
It's good to see you.
Okay, so at the Carver Center for how long now?
Ooh, it's coming up on a year. April 1st will be a full year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's exciting things happening at the Carver Community Center. Let's first give a broad overview of what you provide for folks in our community.
So the Carver Community Center, through our programs and experience, serve children and families. And our major focus is our education, health, and well-being. And so we really focus in and zero in on programming that really, touch on those areas. Mm-hmm. And we're thrilled at the things that we're doing right now and the direction things are going.
It's exciting to see the Carver Community Center continue to grow, continue to bring these exciting things for folks in our community, kids especially.
Yeah.
Now, Carver is where?
Carver Community Center is located at 1030 North Purdom Street, right in the heart of the neighborhood.
I can't imagine
Northeast
nobody's
Kokomo.
been there. I mean, everybody's have been there before, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I mentioned to you earlier off camera, you're hard-pressed to find people who have zero connection to Carver. At heart, we're all Carver kids, and it's always going to be connected.
Now, you're a true Carver kid, right?
Absolutely.
What does that mean?
Ooh, what does that mean? That means a lot. So when I was young, a Carver kid was a kid who was in and out of that building, whether it's for recreational purposes or educational purposes. We were just always there. We lived and breathed that place. We still, in one form or another, are in our lives carrying out the lessons taught by instrumental figures that made Carver. And so we're just trying to be those same people and give back in the same way that it was given to us all those years.
Okay, is this where you learned to play basketball at Carver Center?
I learned to play basketball, yes, at the Carver Center. And you want to know what?
What?
I always call Carver Center youth basketball the mecca of youth basketball in mid-central Indiana, because you cannot find as competitive competition at that level anywhere else. I'm being honest about that.
I believe it.
So that's where your game really grows.
Is that where your game grew?
My game did grow there.
Now, is that still a thing? Are we still playing basketball?
No. That ended several weeks ago. Prime Winter League basketball months are December through January, and it typically ends early February. That's tournament time.
What age groups?
Age groups K through 12th grade.
How fun.
So we touch the whole school age range.
Now, besides basketball, are there any other sporting activities that you do?
So, there are. For adults, there's pickleball.
I heard that pickleball is the hot thing up there.
The pickleball community is great. They come in and they get after it. Mm-hmm. You know that we have a senior building. For those who don't know, you know that we have a senior building that's attached to the Carver Center, right?
I did not know that.
On the south end of the building, there's a building that has senior citizens across the front of it. But guess what?
What?
It's underutilized.
Mm-hmm.
And guess why?
Why?
Because they're all playing pickleball in the gym.
That is a fairly busy place for all day long.
It is. The parking lot is packed. They get after it in there. They're competitive. They go after each other. You see some of them hitting the ball at each other, and it's like, okay, come on, calm down now a little bit. But it's such a great thing to see that they are really. That's their space. They own that space from 9 to noon. That's the heaviest time frame for them. And then there's an afternoon hours of noon to 2. But they get after it 9 to 12.
So things happening during the day at the Carver Center. But more importantly, we have things happening after school at Carver Center.
For sure. Carver Community Center after school program, also known as Carver Kids, is a program that operates from 4 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. This after-school program is tremendous. It gives youth an opportunity to come into the Carver space and just enjoy themselves. It's a safe space for them a couple of hours every day after school. There are some components of education. There's art component. We do vocabulary. Cheryl Simmons still finds a way to come in
That's so nice of her.
throughout the school year. By the way, Cheryl Simmons, Closing the Gap director in the summer education program at Carver, she comes in and does vocabulary lessons. She does numbers with the kids. So there are still those components of education, but it's really just a fun space for the kids. They have an opportunity to get a snack. They can run and play in the gym. They can have free time upstairs. And there's also a book reading every day. I used to love reading Rainbow.
Take a look. It's in a book. Yeah.
It's reading Rainbow. Yeah. So to turn LeVar Burton on and have them have some reading comprehension piece as well has been awesome.
Okay, so this is for students of what ages?
This is for K through fifth graders.
K through 5. And how would we get our kiddos signed up for that?
You can get your kiddos signed up at kokomocarver.org. Under the education section, you will find Carver After School Program, and there you can do the online registration.
Are there any options for busing from certain schools, or is it you have to bring your kiddo?
So presently, it is in fact the case that you would have to drop off and pick up your children. But transportation at some point in the near future is not totally out of the question. We do have a relationship with the Kokomo school system, and those are things that we're currently working to figure out.
That's great. So let's head into the summer with the Carver Community Center.
Sure.
We have the summer programs.
Yes.
For kiddos of all ages.
This is also K through fifth grade.
Okay.
And there's a kind of a reoccurring theme there. That is our prime target for engaging youth is at K through fifth grade. That's a very crucial time frame for educational development and just overall development. And so Closing the Gap, again, the director is Cheryl Simmons, wonderful human being. If you don't know her, you must know her at some point. She was a teacher for 20 plus years. And so in the last 10 years, Closing the Gap has been within the four walls of Carver Community Center, just doing tremendous things. I mean, if you had the opportunity to look at the spreadsheets and see the impact this program has had on hundreds of kids from start to finish, pre-test to post-test,
Great.
There's no learning loss whatsoever.
Really? That's the goal, too.
It is.
Yeah.
And she's doing it.
Okay, so K through 5.
Yes.
And how do we sign our kids up?
Also through Carver or kokomocarver.org. These registration processes are always found on our website, and it's a simple process of just simply going in, however number of kids you want involved with the program, you simply will do an individual registration for each of those, so we could capture each of those children, and it's simple as that.
Now, are you looking for any help with the summer programs? Do you need people to come in and talk to the students, anything like that?
I think that would be amazing, but for that particular program, I would say no. Maybe more so for the after-school program. Cheryl Simmons has, from start to finish, has that just so beautifully scheduled and coordinated.
We're not going to disrupt that.
Yeah.
We're going to let her do her thing.
We're going to let her do her thing. From start to finish, she has that on lock. But the beautiful thing about Closing the Gap program, and I love being a part of this, is that we have licensed teachers that teach each of these classes. Wow. So there's 4 classes, and I'm probably going to mess this up, but I'm going to give it a good shot. So there's a kindergarten class.
Okay.
There's a first and second grade class. There's a third grade class, and then there's a 4th and 5th grade class. So these are standalone classes that licensed teachers are able to teach on a daily basis. The program runs Tuesday through Thursday every week. But from noon to 1:30 on those days, they are dedicated licensed teachers in those classrooms. And there are 2 paras that work with those teachers.
Now, during that time frame, do you feed them? Are there snacks?
So, yes, absolutely. Throughout the day, they have an opportunity to get a snack. But then we also coordinate a schedule with the Kokomo school system summer lunch program.
Great.
And they come in at noon on a daily basis and feed the kids. So it's wonderful.
It's about partnerships, right?
All over the place.
Everybody working together to help the kids.
And you know what? This is something my board president said one time, and I really took it to heart. Carver does not have to be all things to all people. Relationships matter. And when we are focused on relationship-based programming, it just changes everything. So we can invite great people like Bridges Outreach Program, who have been doing amazing things in the Kokomo school system for the last 20 years. And we say, hey, Carver, we have a beautiful facility over at Carver. Can you bring those cool things into our space and continue doing what you're doing?
Did they say yes?
They absolutely
said yes.
said
Of course
yes.
they did.
And it's crazy because the relationship that I'm able to have now with Travis, we've known each other since we were kids, since we were young. And so now to be in a position, and then I worked with Bridges Outreach for 10, 15 years in between there, me being here and starting with them. And so now to be able to continue the work that we do together is great.
I love that. Doing great work for everybody. So we have an event coming up in June, the summer celebration, where you partner with the Kokomo Housing Authority. Is that right?
Correct. Partnership with Kokomo Housing Authority. They are more the resource side, resource tables for their people. And then this is one of our major fundraising events. And so it serves us in that purpose. We do more of the food vendor side and help to provide the entertainment. And together with this, in this collaboration, we come together to do a pretty awesome event.
Now, it costs a lot of money to keep the doors to the Carver Community
It
Center
really
open,
does.
just like it does any other business or organization.
Yeah.
And we need donations to cover those types of things.
Absolutely. It goes back to that Carver Kid thing. If you are seeing on social media or are able to witness and participate in anything Carver is doing in person, we're trying to do the best we can to pull at your heartstrings. To help you to feel something, to identify with the things that maybe at one time you experienced there and that you now know Carver kids are experiencing through our programming. And so here's an opportunity to give back, whether that is from a monetary standpoint or from a resource standpoint and being a volunteer. We appreciate every bit of help that you could possibly give. And so it's as simple as becoming a member of Carver. Obtaining membership helps a tremendous amount. And if you don't already know this as well, membership now is technically free.
Really?
Meaning that you can either make a commitment to a donation of $5, whether that's a year, monthly, or weekly, which helps us a tremendous amount. At least that's something, right? Versus nothing. Or you obtain membership by donating your time as a volunteer.
Well, that's great.
And that helps us too, because then we don't have to pay a ton of people to come and help us with the programs.
So when you say you become a member, what does that mean?
You become a member, meaning that you are making a major contribution to Carver programs. You are benefiting from Carver programs from the standpoint of, you know, that your children, whether that's your grandchildren, whether that's your child, are going to have quality services and programming and education. And then that also gives you an opportunity to come into the space and enjoy the space yourself. Of course, I'm primarily speaking to adults here, but you have, maybe that's an opportunity to rent space.
I never thought about that.
Maybe that's an opportunity to host events there too and become a partner in some capacity. So what you give back, what you put into a thing is what you can get out of it.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here.
Sure.
We're looking at 10 years from now. What does it look like at Carver Community Center in 10 years?
Ooh, that's a great question. What it looks like in 10 years, from my perspective, is it for me, and I'm taking my time with my words here. For me, Carver in recent years has been looked as a place, simply as a place of recreation. I want it to be viewed more as we're serving the community in terms of recreation, but it's an institution of education. We want to be viewed as a place and as a hub for, I know that I can go here and participate in this particular workshop, in this particular program. I'm going to learn something. My children are going to learn something, and we're going to be better people because of it.
All right.
Yeah.
Carver Community Center. JC Barnett with us today on The Ripple Effect. JC, one more time, if folks would like to make a donation or maybe inquire about being a volunteer, how do we do that?
kokomocarver.org. There's an opportunity there to click the drop down at the top of the page, make a donation, become a member, and to learn about our various programs.
That's right. We can't wait to continue to see Carver do great things in our community.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us today.
Appreciate you.
That will wrap up The Ripple Effect for today. I'm Jessica Ausbrook from Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union. Thanks so much for joining us.